Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Run Amok. I'm your host, Javen Takar. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. Folks, it is our 2.0 2023 NFL mock draft. I might be wondering, how is this a 2.0? There is no 1.0 on the channel. Well, the 1.0 is actually on the Instagram. It is a four-part post, I believe. Just going through picks 1 through 32. A lot has changed since then, however. We're just gonna jump right in. A lot has changed, starting from the first overall pick. I had C.J. Stroud going there in my 1.0. Now, Bryce Young out of Alabama, he seems like a lock to go number one to the Carolina Panthers. They traded up DJ Moore. The Bears, they got DJ Moore, couple first round picks, real good deal. I think Carolina, they gets their franchise quarterback in Bryce Young. Number 2 overall, a lot of reports have been coming out recently that the Texans may not get a quarterback. I had them getting Will Anderson in the first one, and I have them going Will Anderson again in the 2.0. Will Anderson, the Houston Texans. Listen, it is a very rich quarterback class. Honestly, you may be able to get somebody later on in later rounds. Hendon Hooker, Dorian Thompson Robinson, I believe is his name. Or next year with Caleb Williams, Drake May. So you can hold off on a quarterback, get a generational game-changing edge rusher in Will Anderson. We saw what happened when the 49ers got Nick Bosa, a dominant edge rusher. They made the Super Bowl his rookie year. Could that happen here? Probably not. Not in Houston. But DeMeco Ryans' defensive-minded head coach, he could want a defensive guy to lead to lead the defense. Number 3, the Arizona Cardinals, now with C.J. Stroud slipping the boards. The Tennessee Titans trading up, to pick up C.J. Stroud. He is my quarterback one. I personally believe that he has, just kind of a better skill set than Bryce Young. And also, I think that the size, to me personally, is kind of a big thing. I think Mike Vrabel is kind of, he wants to be a little aggressive here. We saw the Titans cut a lot of people. It seemed like they may be going into rebuild mode, but you still got Derrick Henry. You extended Jeffrey Simmons. The Tennessee Titans, they could make one last push, get a franchise quarterback, and then start to build around him. Number 4, the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to take their quarterback of the future. It is a quarterback race, folks. I'm telling you. Anthony Richardson, the most polarizing prospect in this entire draft out of Florida. He's got the athleticism. He's got the mobility. Does he have the arm? Does he have the smarts? I think that, under Frank Reich, Frank Reich is the Panthers head coach now. Shane Steichen, I believe, is the Colts. I think that he can do wonders. We saw how he worked with Jalen Hurts. Maybe Richardson's got some of that Hurts development in him. But the thing is, though, I honestly really don't think that Colts offense is going to be successful anytime soon, which is kind of tough. But I mean, they have the skill. Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman. Now you're adding Anthony Richardson. The O-line needs some help, however. And then that defense also got some talent. You got Shaq Leonard. The Colts have a lot of talent, but let's see if Shane Steichen can put it together for this team. And now the Seahawks, they're going to go ahead and they're going to take Tyree Wilson. I debated Jalen Carter for this pick. I think that, Pete Carroll, I do believe that he could deal with him, but I think that character is definitely a big issue, his off-field concerns. Tyree Wilson, real good prospect. He's kind of like the Anthony Richardson of the defensive side. May not have the best technique, may not have the best this or that, but a physical specimen. Number 6, the Detroit Lions, they traded away their former, number 3 overall selection, Jeff Okudah. They're going to go ahead and replace him with Christian Gonzalez. In my opinion, Gonzalez and Witherspoon, they're 1A, 1B. They're very interchangeable. I had them getting Witherspoon in the last mock draft. I have them going Gonzalez in this one. But regardless, I think it's going to be a cornerback at number 6. Number 7, the Las Vegas Raiders. If there's anybody that is more fitting, we have Jalen Carter going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas, they've been in the news a lot. They got a lot of players that are in and out of headlines. And, Jalen Carter is one of those guys. It may be kind of a funny pick, but I also do believe that having Carter and Max Crosby on that defensive line would be real dominant. They could also maybe go cornerback here, Devin Witherspoon. A lot of holes with the Raiders. And then here at number 8, the Falcons trading down The Buccaneers, they jump on up and they're going to go ahead and take Will Levis out of Kentucky. Another polarizing prospect, but for, I feel like, total different reasons than Anthony Richardson. Mayo and coffee, banana peel eater Will Levis going at 8 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They need to find their replacement for Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield, I don't think he's going to be him. You've got the Florida guy from last year. I forget his name. It's the Buccaneers are all over the place. Might as well go on ahead and get the strong-armed Will Levis just to have some competition in your quarterback room. Number 9, the Chicago Bears. They're going to go Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. I know a lot of people like Peter Skoronski. A lot of people like Broderick Jones. I think Paris Johnson is the better tackle in this class. Skoronski is up there, of course. I like Skoronski, but people saying he might be playing guard at the next level. I think Paris Johnson is a more dominant tackle to come on in and protect Justin Fields. Number 10, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to trade away their pick to the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to jump up and they're going to take a wide receiver. This is obviously considering Lamar probably stays. They already added Odell. They have Rashad Bateman. They're going to go ahead and take Jackson Smith-Njigba. I think he is the wide receiver 1 in this class. He's going to make an instant impact. He's going to be a playmaker for the Baltimore Ravens, especially playing alongside Odell Beckham Jr. The Cardinals, they went from 3. They're here at 11 now with the Titans pick, and they're going to take Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois. Again, 1A, 1B with Christian Gonzalez. I think this is great value for Arizona, who desperately need help in that secondary. Jonathan Gannon, defensive coordinator from Philadelphia, he's coming in now, and he's going to want his defensive guys. Now, if they stay at 3, I can see them, going Will Anderson or even Tyree Wilson if Texans don't take him. But where they are right here, they could even trade down further or just stay put and maybe get another edge rusher. Number 12, the Houston Texans, again, they're going to go ahead and take Quentin Johnson, wide receiver out of TCU. Houston, they need some receivers. They need a lot of things. But receiver is one of them. I think Quentin Johnson is very underrated. A lot of people, he wasn't even invited to the draft. They're thinking he may not go first round or go late first round. He's really good. I really like him. He gives off the wide receiver vibes, the wide receiver 1 vibes to me. He gives off that Andre Johnson, physical specimen, physical beast, go up and get it, which is the type of receiver he is. And I think the Texans could use that type of guy. Davis Mills, Quentin Johnson. Now the Jets, who knows if they'll be picking here. This could be the Packers pick. If Green Bay, they want pick 13 for Aaron Rodgers. What's going on with that, by the way? Is Rodgers to the Jets just not going to happen? I have them taking Broderick Jones, O-tackle out of Georgia. I like the guy. O-line help. And then here at 14, the New England Patriots are going to take Peter Skoronski. Again, I really think he's very good. I could see him probably playing tackle at the next level. People are saying he might play guard. He might just be one of those offensive linemen that can do it all. And that's not a bad thing. The Green Bay Packers taking Lucas Van Ness, edge out of Iowa at 15. I've seen people, putting him really high. I think 15 is a good spot. Green Bay going on ahead and fixing up that defense. Who knows? Actually, they may actually even go receiver here. Just out of pity. Rodgers will be gone. We're going to take a first-round receiver now. At 16, Washington's going to go Darnell Wright, who has been climbing up draft boards as of recently. I really have no idea where Washington goes here. They could also go cornerback, maybe receiver. I don't 100% know. I think Darnell Wright is a safe pick, though, beefing up that offensive line. Now at 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to get the son of Steelers legends, Joey Porter. They're going to take Joey Porter Jr., cornerback out of Penn State. Pittsburgh, again, another team that I had no idea where to go, really. I just ended up going Joey Porter Jr. just because, hey, Joey Porter, they're just going to take his son. I could also see them going Kalijah Kancey here out of Pittsburgh. Speaking of Kancey, he's going next at 18 to the Detroit Lions, beefing up that D-line. You love to see it. And now here at 19, the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to go ahead and get Myles Murphy, the edge out of Clemson. Honestly, I really don't know much about the kid. Atlanta just needs defensive line, front 7 help desperately. So they're going to go ahead and take, probably the best one off the board. You could also make an argument for Brian Brees, also out of Clemson. I think, Will McDonald, Nolan Smith, there's a lot of guys that Atlanta could go here. I think that they probably go defense, though. We go Myles Murphy. Now the Seattle Seahawks at pick number 20, O'Cyrus Torrence, offensive guard. I don't know why people aren't talking too much about this guy. He moves people. I loved watching Torrance play for Florida. Sorry about that cut, folks. My phone ran out of storage. I had just had to offload some apps. Those stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. I apologize. So if the camera's angle is a little bit different, that's why. Anyway, so we are at Osiris Torrance. You know, they have their franchise tackles in Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas. They're going to want to build that interior offensive line, having a heck of a draft here. Hey, you got Tyree Wilson, and now you got Osiris Torrance. People may think this is a little high for him. I think this is perfect. At 21, the Chargers, they're going to go Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is maybe the best prospect in this class. Honestly, for me, you know, obviously he's top 5 on everyone's boards. I think Will Anderson is the best prospect, and I think he's getting underrated now. Bijan should be a top 5, top 10 pick. But unfortunately, because he's a running back, people kind of overlook his talent. They look at that positional value. This is obviously thinking that the Chargers are going to go ahead and they're going to trade Austin Eckler. Whether they do or don't, I do think this is still a good pick. You could also argue they go receiver here or corner maybe. I mean, there's a lot of guys that they could take here. But I'm thinking they also Eckler's going to get traded. They're going to want to replace that running back position with the best running back in this class. At 22, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're going to take Brian Branch, safety out of Alabama. This could be a little bit high for him, but listen, Philadelphia, they lost both their starting safeties. How are you going to replace that? You're going to take Brian Branch, a versatile, physical, smart playmaker on the defensive side of the ball, and I think he's going to fit right into Philly's defense perfectly. At 23, the Minnesota Vikings, they're going to take Deontay Banks, cornerback out of Maryland. Listen, this is a team that desperately needs cornerback secondary help. This was their biggest flaw, their Achilles heel last year. Everybody was saying, man, this team's defense stinks. So going ahead, they're going to take Deontay Banks. I think he's really good. A lot of people, I think, are overlooking him because there's such good corners in this class. But, you know, he's a physical guy, gets a little handsy. He's going to annoy receivers. I like it. 24, the Jaguars, you know, they were on the cusp of a really good playoff run. Unfortunately, they lost. But here I got them taking Brian Brees, D-line out of Clemson. A lot of people are really high on this guy. I haven't seen too much of him, I'm going to be honest. But, you know, there's that one clip of him in high school, I believe, that he was just dominating. You know, I honestly really didn't know who to pick here for Jacksonville, so I just kind of went defense to beef up that defensive line. That's never a bad thing. Now here at 25, I know everybody's watching at home thinking, oh my gosh, Zay Flowers, what is this guy doing? You know, you want to grab me by my hoodie and say, you don't know how to draft. Listen, I got Zay Flowers going here at 25 to the Giants. And of course he could go higher, and he probably will come draft day. I made this a couple days ago. I'm gonna keep it 100. And you know, he wasn't as high on everybody's boards as he is now. Now everybody's talking about Zay Flowers, and he's probably gonna go top 20. But I have him going 25 here. The Giants, they have really no talent at receiver. They've got Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, I believe. Zay Flowers is going to be an instant playmaker for Daniel Jones, and Brian Dable is going to love having Zay Flowers. 26, the Dallas Cowboys here. They're going to take Michael Mayer, tight end. They could go receiver. Jordan Addison, maybe, you know, there's some other guys. But you lost Dalton Schultz. You traded for Brandon Cooks. You got, you know, still CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. So replace Dalton Schultz. I know their backup, a lot of people are high on him. And that's fine. You can have 2 good tight ends, and that's fine. 27, the Buffalo Bills. Man, I have no idea who I wanted Buffalo to take here. This was the hardest pick for me. Actually, the Saints may be a little harder at 29. They're coming up. I have them going Jack Campbell, linebacker out of Iowa. I know y'all are at home laughing at this pick. Y'all, I get it. You can laugh at me. I laughed too when I picked it. I think that actually the mock draft database, they laughed too when I picked this pick. But, you know, I have them going Osiris Torrance, and I do think that that'd be a great pick. But honestly, Buffalo, y'all should trade up, try to get Bijan Robinson or something, because this is just a bad spot. You know, I mean, they could go edge rusher. You know, you got some guys still on the board, or, you know, O-tackle, Anton Harrison. But they need a linebacker. And, you know, either if you don't take one here, you got to take one in the second. So Jack Campbell, you know, maybe another team will trade up. You can get an early second pick to take one of the linebackers. You know, there's Campbell and Drew Sanders. I know a lot of people are high on Sanders. I picked Campbell before everybody was high on Sanders right now. So either or, though. Either or. And then here at 28, I actually really like this pick. Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah. You got two tight ends here going 26 and 28 respectively to the Cincinnati Bengals. Just adding more weapons for Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. You got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. Actually, he was rumored to be cut. I believe they lost Hayden Hurst in free agency, so going on ahead and just fixing that up. They could also go Anthony Harrison here again, just to beef up that offensive line. But they went on ahead. They got Orlando Brown, so maybe they'll think, hey, we're good. 29. I hated picking for the Saints here. It took me a good 15 minutes to decide who I wanted them to pick. I am going Will McDonald here. I think people love him or hate him. I've seen good, bad things about him. I honestly don't know too much about him, but I saw a lot of mock drafts having Will McDonald to the New Orleans, so I figured, okay, I'll trust what these guys are saying. I can't really defend this pick too much. The Saints are a team where I'm just like, okay, they have holes, but they have a lot of talent. You got Cameron Jones, Demario Davis, Alvin Kamara, whatever his situation is. You just got Derek Carr, Michael Thomas, what's going on with him, Taysom Hill, Marshawn Lattimore. Like what I don't really know what New Orleans does. They have guys at every position. It's just a matter of fact depth, I guess. 30 here. I love this pick. Philadelphia Eagles. They're gonna go out ahead and take Nolan Smith, edge out of Georgia. He is one of my favorite prospects in this class. Maybe not as a talent wise, but just a personal favorite. Real small, and that's why I could see him slipping here to Philadelphia at 30, because he measured at weight at 230, 220, and that's real small for an edge, especially at the NFL level. But they already have a guy very similar, and that's Hassan Reddick. He got the Hassan Reddick comparisons. He's fast. He is very technical. I like the way he uses his hands. He's a very smart player, very disciplined. He plays the run well, plays the pass well, and going under the wing of another light line edge rusher like Hassan Reddick is only going to help the guy. So they're going to have Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith coming off each edge. I think that's scary. That's dominant, man. And now finally, the last pick, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to just go. He may be best player available. They could go Aiden Harrison here, offensive tackle. I've seen, obviously they could go O-line help. But I got Jordan Addison. They lost Mecole Hardman. They lost Juju Smith. They have Kadarius Toney, and I think Addison is similar. Maybe more of a vertical guy, though. I think he could develop that, especially with Andy Reid, especially with Patrick Mahomes. I was high on Addison, but after watching the film, he kind of fell off my board a little bit. I think 31 to Kansas City would be scary. He's a very talented guy. I think Kansas City could be special with him. And that's going to round off the mock draft. Folks, we are only a few days away from the NFL draft. Could it go like this? It could not. Obviously, there'll probably be some prospects that we're not even talking about get taken here in the first round. We had Cole Strange out of Chattanooga go to New England in the first round. So that could happen. I don't think this is the perfect mock draft. I don't think anybody really has a perfect mock draft. But one thing for certain, Carolina Panthers will take a quarterback. Yeah, and so that's gonna end this off here, folks. 31 picks because the Miami Dolphins, they had to forfeit their pick, so they don't have a pick, and so it makes it very awkward. 31. Make sure you stay tuned in. Follow on the Instagram. Follow on the TikTok at Run Among Sports. I know, we had to beat the press here in the back, but we're Run Among now, just kind of paying homage. So that's going to round off this episode, folks. I appreciate you for watching. If you tuned in this far, great job. Great job. Truly appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Peace out.